Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this class. I'm Jen Rottmann, and I'm so excited to share with you guys how you can tap into your creative genius. So you can not just, really explore the potential of success and how you can impact the world, but also really enjoy life to the fullest. Because this has been an obsession of mine. Is not just, I early in my life, I was like, okay, I can be successful. I know what it takes to be successful. I know what it takes to be happy and really enjoy life and have fun. But it always seems to be very bleak moments in my life where I can actually be successful and enjoy my life to the fullest. Otherwise, it was always be successful and be stressed, or enjoy your life, but not have the creative fulfillment, not have the money that I really would like to have in my in my life. So I'm really excited to share this tool with you guys. So at the end, I'm going to give you a tool that you can actually apply this to your own life. But before I do that, I just want to kind of share a quick story with you of how I really kind of, well, unknowingly at the time, I was really lucky. I kind of stumbled on really, finding out how impactful working in our creative genius, can be. And I just want to share with you this, which is, I'm just going to share a quick photo with you guys, because really what happened in my life is, I always call it, I went from kind of being the party girl, okay, and these are some of the good pictures, honestly, guys. There's some lot worse ones, which is pretty much from 14 to 24. That's all I was about. I was just like, I loved having fun. My personality type's called the enthusiast. So, that's probably a pretty accurate description. Like, I just love having fun. I've always been a person that's very passionate about life, and just, I want to always just enjoy things, right? So that was really pretty much, my life from 14 to 23. And then, by 26, I'm running, this, I've kind of turned into this workaholic. I'm running a company that's spending over, almost $1 million a year. And what is so mind blowing, and the reason I wanted to share this story with you guys is, as I look back, what's so crazy about it was such a short period of time, right? So I literally, I finished university at, I was 23. And by the time I'm 23, I'm kind of graduating. And I was such a, all the things that people say to be successful, I wasn't, right? I didn't have the, um, I didn't have the discipline or the focus on what I really wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to do something, right? Like, quite honestly, I wanted to be like J-Lo, but I couldn't dance or sing or act. So I was like, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to do. And so I did the really responsible thing. And, after partying hardcore at university, I went traveling and backpacking and did some more partying. And then I just really randomly ended up in Australia. I literally arrived as a backpacker. I had no money. I opened up a bank account with $0, and I really randomly, I was just looking for work. I, got an opportunity to work in a sales company. And the funny thing was, like, literally in my job interview, I was like, I don't think I could sell anything to anyone. And this wasn't a job in that sense. It was actually, I was going to be a contractor, so work for myself on 100% commission, right? And I was like, I don't think I could sell anything to anybody. Like, this is not going to, this is not going to work. But, one thing that I've always been very, fortunate, because at the time I just got into Australia, I didn't have another job. They offered to me, the people seemed cool. And I was like, I was like, well, I can, give this a go until I find something else. I just tried it, because I always think there's nothing, everything in life is an experience and a lesson. And it was probably one of the, biggest blessings of my life, because I absolutely, this, like I said, I turned this into a 7-figure business. My first company was a sales and marketing company, and I absolutely loved that. Like, I became really successful, and, like, more importantly, what I really learned is this glimpse of what working in your creative genius means. Because the reason I was so successful in sales, even though I had no skill in it, I'd never worked a day in my life, I was probably not really, like I said, that disciplined, I didn't, really have even the work ethic at the beginning, was because it was in my, natural ability. That's why I really call our creative genius. It's the things that we are naturally gifted with. We all have gifts, certain talents, certain personality traits that make us good at certain things just naturally. Obviously, we can develop them by working harder at them, and I've definitely done so over the years, but we just have this natural knack for certain things. And, for me personally, like, I am only really good at things that I enjoy doing. So, and that, tends to be the things that we are good at, are also things that we really love doing. So for me, that really, the only thing that I really could do is, like, I love talking to people. Like, I really love talking to people, as you can tell. I love connecting with people on a really deep level. And I also, and I studied philosophy at university. So I have a certain mind that I have a very curious mind, and I love understanding why. And I have an ability to see kind of patterns in a macro scale that a lot of people, don't, which is why I love teaching so much, because it combines that and the ability to connect and talk to people. And that's why I was good at sales. Like, honestly, it was just because I enjoyed the process of, basically, sales is just talking to people, and I really loved the product I was representing. I thought it was amazing, so I was just so passionate. Again, I have a very passionate personality. That process by itself was so enjoyable for me that I never worried about making. That's why people wanted to buy from me, because I never tried to really convince them. I love the process, and that's why I did really well. And later, as I then kind of progressed into wanting to build my own company, right? And then it's more into into leadership and building a culture and building up a company. What at first I was kind of struggling because I kept comparing myself to other people, and and quite honestly, I'm so shit at so many things. Most things I'm really shit at. Like I said, the things that I've listed are really the only things I'm really good at. Most other things I'm terrible at. So I kept comparing myself to other people and the things that they did really well and that I was not good at. And when then I really took my company to that, from just earning good money to really, like I said, building a 7-figure business, at such a young age. Like I said, I'm 26 at this point. Within 3 years of working, like literally my working life, I've built a company that most people will never get to build that kind of thing in their lifetime. And it was all, again, because I really focused on my creative genius. I focused on the things that I was good at. I focused on, I'm not the best salesperson, but I am the best. I have one of the highest qualities, right? Like my quality and my retention rate. And again, my love for having, I even do this in my personal life. The teams that I build, I could attract really high quality people. I could attract people that, I created a culture that was very deep, that, again, people loved working with me, so they would stay for a long period of time. So I started really focusing on that and focusing on all the things that I was really good at, and like the deep connections that I loved creating with people, and like how much I love to teach people. And again, I took my company to a whole new level. And like I said, it's been not many years later that I've really discovered what this really is. This is, like I said, this is really the beauty of when we work in our creative genius, because as you probably know as well, like at the end of the day, if we want to have all the things we want to have in life, right, it's always an input output, right? If we work hard and we do things, we, get something out. But you probably know as well, like we can work really hard, and there's lots of people that work incredibly hard, but, and quite honestly, at this point, like, my parents have worked way harder in their entire life than I worked hard in those 3 years, but there's many people I know that worked way harder and never earned that kind of money that I did. And it was all down to this, like I said, working in this creative genius. Because when you're working in this zone, it's like you 1,000x the output results that you get. Again, think of the people, the best of the best in the world, like the Beyoncés and the Michael Jordans of the world. They have, the reason they're so good is because, Beyonce at 3 years old knew that she had a creative talent, and all she did was focus on that. And, again, she obviously worked incredibly hard. Again, it's not just enough to have the talent. You have to put the work ethic in, especially if you want to become the best of the best in the world. But, Michael Jordan or Beyonce could have also worked incredibly hard at being a plumber or an accountant, and they wouldn't be Beyonce or Michael Jordan, if that makes sense. Like when we work in that zone, and I call it, like I said, that creative genius zone, where we're really doing something that we have a natural gift and talent, and our personalities are geared for it. And we also have, like I said, so much passion and joy for those things, because it's what lights us up. We 1,000x the results that we, get from it. But also I want to give you a big thing, because it's not just like to fully tap into our creative genius. It's not just enough like getting to really know ourselves and really working in that area that we're best at. That's one part of it. And I learned the painful hard way of that's not, enough, because in life, if we want to have all the things that we want to have, it's quite simple. If you want to have, it doesn't matter if you want to have money, if you want to have the incredible relationships, if you want to have the success, if you want to have the impact, it's always going to involve other people. Unless you want to be a monk and, by yourself in a cage, in a cave was what I wanted to say. It's always going to involve other people, and it's always going to involve contributing and serving to other people. Like if we're in business, by contributing and serving to our customers is how we make the money. If it's in our job, it's contributing and serving in the company, to increase our salaries. If it's in the relationships, again, it's giving to that relationship so we can have something back as well. So it's always about contributing and serving, which is why, like I said, when we work in our creative genius and use those talents and personality traits that we already have naturally gifted, we 1,000x the contribution and the serving that we can do, right? Which is why we get so much more. But there's one also really important element. It's not just about getting to know yourself and really working that area. There's also, you need to get to know and love yourself, right? And the loving yourself is really about realizing, and again, I made this mistake. It's not about when we want things in life, we think it comes, when we get, and this is a mistake that I made, right? I thought, okay, once I make the money that I want to make, and once I have the success and I have the achievement and I have the company and I have the status and whatever, do you mean like you make up all these things in your head? That's how I'm then going to get all the feelings that I want to feel inside. That's how I'm going to feel more secure, right? Once I make 100 grand a year, I'm going to feel financially secure. Or, once I have the $1 million company, I'm going to feel financially secure, right? Like it's always, there's a number to it. Or once I'm successful, then I'm going to feel more confident and getting, the partner or the man or the woman that I want in my life. Like whatever it is, we think that achieving things outside in the real external world is going to make us feel good inside. It's going to make us feel more confident, more loved, more joyful, more confident and secure in ourselves. But the thing is, the opposite is true. If you're trying to get outside things to help make you feel good inside, even when you achieve it, like I did, it doesn't last. It goes away. Because what actually happened to me is, as I made, this is the crazy thing, the more money I was making and the more successful I was becoming, the more insecure I got, the more stress I was getting, the more overwhelmed I was getting, the more fear really took over. And it went to such an extreme that I actually left that first company that I built, because I was so unhappy and I'd lost so much of who I actually was. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And you can even see a little bit in the picture. Like I have such a passionate, like enthusiastic, joyful personality. And I wasn't like that at all anymore, because I'd lost it, because I got so, like I said, I got so caged into my own fear. And it comes from, like I said, not really, playing one part of it. Like I said, getting to know yourself and playing with your strengths is one part, but you also have to really, love yourself at all elements. And it's like the good, the bad, the ugly, right? At every aspect of it. And it's really working on yourself internally, like learning to deal with your fears, learning to deal with your doubts. And again, that money isn't going to make you feel secure. It's going to actually come from within. And once you feel within secure and confident, that's when you're going to attract that kind of money. And then you're also going to keep it. Right. It took me, like I said, a long, hard, painful road to understanding that is really true. It is an internal, it's an inside outside, game. But again, I'm super grateful for it, because it's allowed me to create this philosophy that, which is now how I live my life. And I also, I teach other people, which is, if we really want to have everything we want in life, like I said, it's really simple. We just need to contribute and serve to other people. And the way we can contribute and serve the best is, like I said, working in that, creative genius. And to do that, this is why really human potential and whatever you're capable is literally unlimited, because it's all going to come down to how much you're willing to really, for the rest of your life, because it's not just a one-time thing. I'm committed to this for the rest of my life, which is really about getting to know and love yourself. And again, this is nothing new. Do you mean? The old ancient Greek philosophers already told us this, which is, know thyself. And it really is. It's about knowing and loving and appreciating and accepting all of ourselves, because the more we do it with ourselves, the more we can actually do it for other people as well, which is going to give us the rich relationships. It's going to give us the ability to serve our customers and our clients at the highest level. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview and, share a little bit of my story of how, living and working in your creative genius is really going to get you, the things that you want in life at the highest level. And it's actually quite a simple philosophy. We just, again, it's just about acting on it every single day and getting to know and love ourselves. And I wanted to share a little tool with you. So I've got a little gift for you guys here as well. So it's a free audio training. It's about 15 minutes, probably take you about half an hour in total to like do the exercises, because it's going to be doing the exercise and doing the tool that will actually, hopefully you enjoyed this video and you're like, oh, this, makes sense. And I think I can see how if I applied my creative genius and did more of the things that I really am naturally gifted at and talented and enjoy doing, how I can be more successful. But it's, knowledge by itself. If you just listen to me and you've got knowledge in your head now, that's not going to change your life. It's actually applying the knowledge. So doing the work in the audio training, that little tool that I'm going to give you, and do the exercises and apply them. And you're also more than welcome. I have a Facebook group, which is called the Creative Genius Community. And you can jump in there and, share the insights that you've gained from doing that activity. Share what you've learned. Share, maybe you discovered something completely new about yourself. You realize, oh, I don't do this enough. I could get so much better results if I actually focus on this strength of mine, or I really appreciate this about myself and I never really realized. So share some of your insights. Again, if you have any questions, challenges, you get stuck on anything, again, ask for help. That's what the community is there for. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this training. I hope this has been valuable for you. Feel free to reach out anytime as well if you've got questions. I always love hearing from you guys.